Hello, it is 9 p.m. in Djibouti. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight's headlines, we have Djiboutians Federation of Basketball rehabilitate basket area in the capital. For the international scene, United States, the former President Barack Obama on the files to convey to Donald Trump. Welcome to our newsrooms. Caravanners from the Aspio, this ancient city, has known its glory days. These villages out of the edge. Our city had its heyday when it was the obligatory passages of all the caravan coming from or living from Zela, great regional economic capital in his time. The Aspio, his name is come from the colors of his water. Tant was indeed the point of transit caravanners before the construction and commissioning of the first railroad. Djibouti said Dawa and Addis Ababa. There is the first century about in 1917. If the train marks its footprint, the regions it crosses and stimulates their development. It is quite different from the Aspio, which sounds the death knells, relegating to the rank of simple railway stations an import. This the Aspio's blow will accommodate and continue to live until the day the train will stop. Since then, the Aspio has stopped living and even existed, yet the Aspio is known without interest. These villages remarks are jealous our cultural heritage. During his visit in 1999 to the Aspio, the President of the Republic had evoked that these villages was a high places in the history of our country and should feature prominently in the tourist sites of our country. The will was realized by a group of young people named the Aspio's Friends, among whom the Minister of Budget, Bode Ahmed Roble, the President of the Regional Councils and the Prefect of Ali Sabih, the Prefect of Art Abdullahi Darar Okiye, and the promoters of these journalists and hotel specialists participate in this day, with a group of tourists from 15 people who were greeted hostess the Aspio. The mornings commented by a free breakfast in the centers of the village. After breakfast, started the program of a day with a visit to the great caves of all Arfa Ali Sabih vestiges on a great time, and whose access was developed with the help of the Republic. Then the tourists went on a camel's trek from the Aspio to Ali Sabih, where they had lunch. Several dozens of camels have been rented in the localities of the Aspio, thus providing substantial income to each owner. For his part, the organizers of this ceremony tell us the importance concerning the preservation of the cultural site. The tourists went on a camel's trek from the Aspio to Al Sabih, where they had lunch. Several dozens of camels have been rented in the localities of the Aspio, thus providing substantial income to each owner. The Djiboutian Federation of Basketball is reborn from its frames with the rehabilitation of the basketball courts of the city of Djibouti. This is the goals of the Djiboutian Federation of Basketball, a colossal undertaking that lasted nearly a month and a half to rehabilitate 15 basketball courts spread across the city of Djibouti, from Pika 12 trees to Plateau City, more precisely to the land where was held the ceremony, which met the President of the Basketball Federation of Djibouti, Mr. Jilani Mohamed Douale, the mayors of Djibouti, Ms. Fatuma Osman Awale, the representative of youth and airport, and all those who contribute to the success of this land renovation project. Djiboutian basketball had been out of action for sometimes because of lack of grounds to practice. In fact, all the lands had to be turned into the real waste dumpsters. The Djiboutian Basketball Federation undertook, with the assistance of OVD, the Office of the Djibouti Highways, a genuine for the populations and the land to aim the retracing the lines to the standards of the restoration work of basket and painting. Moreover, the ground will benefit from the solar impulse to allow the teams to be able to play the night, and this thanks to the help of the company Solar 7, which will equip the 15 fields of light with the solar system. With this works, the basketball complexes at the images of the outlet fields is experienced of a real facility that giving young people the desires to play these sports. In addition, the Basketball Federation has planned the distributions of basketball games and ball to some 10 women's and 12 teams. The very next openings of the basketball championship that will be the reborns. The president of the Basketball Federation is Mr. Jirani Mohammed Ali, and those who contributed to the success of this renovation project. Djiboutian basketball had been out of action for some times because of lack of grounds to practice. In fact, all the lands had to be turned into real waste dumpster. The industry's awareness raising tournament, which was gathered by the president of the federations and all personalities who participate in this ceremony. Under the auspices of the Ministry of Youth, the Djiboutian Federations of Dakar Torio has organized an international technical internship from 27 October to 3 November 2018. The courses took place under the directions of the founding masters Osensei Laoita. This technical internship brought together different countries such as Djibouti, France, Ethiopia, Senegal. These courses took place in the sub-prefectures of Dekhilmar, particularly in the city of As'ela, Dakar, the birthplaces of the founders of these disciplines. And several high-level personalities were present at the ceremony, in particular the sultans of Gobaad, the local authorities. The main objectives of this internship allowed the practitioners of this discipline to exchanges between them and also to discover the best places of the founder of Sensei Loita. The internship also celebrated the signing of the presidential decree recognizing Dakar Torio as a national sport, a great pride for the Dakar Torio family, who became the African martial art thanks to the reconnaissance officially in the Djibouti countries of origin. The participants were very satisfied at this stage in the places of origin of the founder, Osensei Loita, who promoted this discipline for more than 13 years. For his part, concerning Sensei Loita, founders of the Dakar Torio disciplines, originators of the Dakar As'ela regions, thanked all the delegation coming from different countries to know Ethiopia, France, Senegal for the international training as that consists of the recognitions of the population of Gobaad, his home. He thanked and congratulated the President of the Republic for the recognitions of the Dakar Torio as a Djibouti national sport, which allows the disciplines as an African continental sport in the future. The National Networks for Social Development organized this morning at North-South Partnership ceremony, namely in the localities of Dora and Daspio in the Intercultural Library of the UTA Boka Ahmed Center. The objective is to promote exchanges and cooperation between the two localities, Dora and Daspio. The creations of two Solidarity funded the presentations of the project grant of materials initiated by the representative of the RNDS in England. A partnership agreement was signed between the RNDS and the Dora and Aspia associations in order to strengthen the development of two localities, the sharing of ideas and knowledge, the realizations of common projects, strengthening the bonds of friendship and fraternity. The ceremony saw the participation of several members of associations from Dora and Aspio, including the representative of RNDS in England, Mr. Said Gabbobe. As part of the program for the promotions and protections of human rights, a delegation of UNICEF led by Madame Halima Noor arrived yesterday afternoon at Balbala 11. On her arrival, she was welcomed by the Balbala 11's committee. The awareness was to fight against malaria, cholera, because last times there is the mosquito and the fly threat that comes in the winter's period. Balbala committee have explained the people in the neighborhood of property that protect against this disease, especially children 0 to 5 years and pregnant women, and the they presented as sketch to raise people is awareness for Pat Medina. Miss Halimo Noor thanked the Balbala's 11 committee for hosting them in their neighborhood. She indicated to protect their neighborhoods as well as committee with the help of the Ministry of Health. As part of the Salam Human Rights Promotions and Protection Program, the Damerjo Committee Management Committee organized an awareness raising ceremony on children's rights. This ceremony is organized in close collaboration with the National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFT, and the UNICEF. This ceremony is to introduce to young people and their rights as to obtain the national identity card and the refusals of excision for young girls and to fight against drug. Ceremonies saw the participation of several women from the committee and the girls from the mother from this area. The UNFT, who always deploys big ways to put our children safe from delinquencies. The coordinators of the UNFT, Halimo, made a brief reminders of the achievement of the Community Management Committee and challenges for the protection of the right of the child and his education. The directions of the regional hospital of Ali Sabih realized a medical caravan for the benefit of the populations of Goudawo in the area of Ali Sabih. As part of the towers of medical caravan, the mobile team led by Dr. Ahmed Absi Warsama Regional Hospital, led by Dr. Hussein Umar Awale, is composed of nurses, midwives, and nutritionists, as well as vaccinations officer for children. The medical team conducted consultation, providing care to all populations who moved in masses. In addition to the medical activities provided to this population, mobile teams distribute impregnated mosquito net to pregnant women and children under 5 years of age. The Ministry of Health, with this offshoring action through the strategy, intend to bring care closer to the populations of the region on the move doctors and paramedics. The veterinary team and the sub-prefectures of Dora in the regions of Tajura, headed by the technicians Abdul Qadir Muhammad Hussein, is very advanced in the fight against animal disease in the sectors where the majority of the population draw its resources from livestock. With the support of the NGO, the veterinary team has traveled the entire sectors to treat hundreds of cattle head and cattle's camel against various animal diseases, against internal parasites and tricks. Nomadic's family greatly appreciate the passage of the veterinary teams of Dora, who intervenes in inaccessible places on the places of Siyaru at the borders, thanks to the volunteers trained on the spot or to look after their cattle. The husband and wives of technicians donate. Mr. Muhammad Abdul Qadir thanked the support of the livestock management of the prefectures of Tujura and NGO. The elected representative of the region, Ali Dini, congratulated the teams for the work to preserve animal health important sector in the regions of the population of Dora, who lives mainly thanks to the resources of his cattle. Our missions of the RTDs led by Mr. Galab Hassan Galab was in Tujura, White City, to attend the workshop of the validations of micro project to the associations of Tujura. The meeting, chaired by Tujura Regional Council Mr. Umar Hussein Umar, was aimed to study in the 45 projects submitted by the associations and selecting the best project for the region. The president of the regional council opened the meeting by thanking the RTDs, its staff, and the member of the committee for the effort made to make this meeting a reality. He emphasized that greater responsibility falls on the shoulders of committee member. The president of the regional councils of Tujura speaks in turns and addresses the member of the committee and advises them a greater objectivity for the choice of the micro project. RTD's representative Hassan Galab urged the committee to put the general interest above all consideration. Thus, all the projects were studied and analyzed in turn by the management committee, who thoroughly dissected the submitted project by annotating all the observations. For the international scene, the borders between Israel and Gaza Strip has one of the quietest Friday after months of violence. Listen to the report.
The border between Israel and Gaza Strip has one of the quietest Fridays after months of the violence, while Egypt's mediation effort for a ceasefire between the Jewish state and the Islamic Hamas movement appearing to claim the enclave. 7 Palestinians were injured by Israeli artillery, according to the Hamas Ministry of Health. According to the report published on Tuesday, Egypt has reached an agreement that Hamas will agree to work on protests against the border in exchange for alleviating the serious blockade imposed by Israel for more than a decade to the Gaza Strip. However, no official confirmation has been obtained from the parties to the agreement, which Egypt is the mediator.
Donald Trump and former President Barack Obama delivered very tonally different remarks today on the campaign trails. Listen to this report.
Trump and former President Obama delivered very tonally different remarks today on the campaign trail for candidates in West Virginia and Florida, respectively. Trump is scheduled to speak again in Indianapolis tonight and in Montana tomorrow afternoon. Donald Trump recently convicted former lawyer and increasingly disloyal one-time confidant Michael Cohen told Vanity Fair, and Trump repeatedly used racist language before his presidency.
This is it for tonight's news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.